an asylum center is a controversial enterprise because it's taking up a hotel in a local area. It's soaking up resources. And then for the ultimate beneficiary of these lucrative contracts to not be contributing back to tax, like, is crazy. And that's why, like, I'm just so, I get so animated because I don't understand how none of the opposition are really calling this out. And I'm like, do they not get it? Are they not looking? Or are there other more malevolent reasons why they're not doing it? And it just puzzles me.
And what's your hypothesis then? What do you think is going on? Is it just basic incompetence, or is it something deeper than that? Because you've already said that some ex-politicians were involved in lobbying on the commercial side of all of this. I can understand why. There's money to be made.
Well, when you get down into a granular level, you can take each asylum center on. You should take them all on a case-by-case basis. But there's a common theme of there's either a really tax-efficient corporate structure, or there's an Irish Celtic tiger cowboy on the receiving end. Right. Now, that's a generalization, but we can delve into it. And so one of the ones I exposed, I suppose, during the last week or two, was this cafe. This entity was, Roderick O'Gorman put out an update onto Thornton Hall, and he said the company getting the contract for Thornton Hall is IEMS. I was like, that's interesting. IEMS is not the name of a company. You haven't said anything there. So I went, why is he hiding this? Why is he hiding what IEMS is? So I went and looked. The full name was IGO Emergency Services, right? So, okay, who are IGO Emergency Services? Realize IGO Emergency Services is just a business name, and it's ultimately owned by a cafe called IGO Cafe Limited. I'm like, wait a second. A cafe is in receipt of 30 million euro contracts every year to run the most controversial operation in the country at the moment. Who's this cafe? You delve into who the directors are.
It's an Irish company.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't seen this. This is brilliant. The two directors of the cafe are two ladies, Anne Murphy and Andreas, Martina Andreas or something like that. They're like, who are these people? The company, they've just paid themselves, according to the last accounts, 1.3 million in director's fees. And I'm like, who are these people? These should be warranted for Entrepreneur of the Year. Why are they on the David Williams podcast? Like, these are incredible entrepreneurs to have this company. And I put this out and I was like, who are these people? Because this is incredible. And then I got an incredible amount of messages saying, we know who owns that. And it was a guy called David Mooney. It was an open secret about who owns it. And I was like, well, where's his name written down? And then we went to commencement notices, construction commencement planning notices. And we saw that on that notice, he had written his name down as the owner.
Applicant, yeah.
And then you get into, okay, well, who's this guy? And then interestingly, what we found was local politicians have all been into his cafe and taken photos. Like, so he's really politically connected. And I've called this out. And there's been no response. And this is where we get into why aren't the media picking things up?